Hello guys, what's up? It's Kevin here. Um, spirit boxes. Spirit boxes. Do I believe in spirit boxes? I've listened to those channels, and all they come up with is just a big mess. You know, they were in a pond close to the house, in the woods close to the house, and such and such. The retention pond was drained, and there was nothing there. Okay. They've searched the woods all around there, and Sebastian is not, I don't think, in the woods. In a home in that neighborhood, it's possible. I can't say for sure. I don't know. I'm just saying anything's possible, but I don't trust and I don't believe in those spirit boxes. I just don't. I never have. Not to say I don't believe in God, because I do. But he tells me not to believe in spirit boxes. I don't. Some people do. And, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just don't. They're not my reliability, and Ellie don't even consider those. Not that I'm aware of, not that I would even think. Also, Sebastian, I'm going to say this. Sebastian looked like a very, very nice and smart child. He did. Just based on those videos of that roadhouse, and the smiles and pictures and stuff, he tried to be happy. He tried to be happy, but he wasn't allowed to be happy at home. Not by the Proud Feets. By Seth, he was allowed to. He had more freedom at Seth's. He didn't have no freedom at home. Or at that house, should I say. He was just a very smart kid, I believe. And I go back and I listen to one of the interviews that CP had. I don't think it was with Chronicles of Olivia this time. I think it was another one. And I haven't spoke about this because I didn't pick up on it until last night, I think it was, or night before. Sebastian was the blame, according to Chris Proudfoot, for CPS being called to the house. He actually blamed Sebastian for calling Child Protective Services to the scene. No, that's not what happened. What happened was Sebastian went to school, and he showed them the marks. And the school themselves decided to notify Child Protective Services, in which Child Protective Services of Sumner County, Tennessee, decided they wanted to fail on the case. Aren't we very familiar with that? How familiar are we with Child Protective Services in every single state, every county failing children? And it's disgusting. It is despicable. It's okay to spank a child. It's not okay for Chris Proudfoot to put his hands on another man's child. That is not his place to do. That's Katie's place to do. Which brings me to wonder, who put the bruise marks on Sebastian? Was it Katie? Was it Chris? Could it have been both? I believe both. I believe it was a combination of both. I believe he was really, really mistreated in that house. I'm not going to call that a home. I'm going to call that a house, because that's what it is. And it's still a house. If you don't think that there's still enough volatility in that house right now, you're dead wrong. Because Katie, she has to walk a chalk line. She has to do as he say. She has to play buttercup. And she's willing to do it. And that means she's a sick woman. She made the decision to get rid of her child for a man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you are a mother, and I'm going to ask a question to the mothers or the fathers, what are you going to do? Are you going to tell the person that you're in a relationship with or you're married to that if they can't accept your child, then they can't accept you, they must hit the door? Are you going to tell them that? Or are you going to look at your child and say, but let's say the child doesn't have any problems or minor problems like autism. Or are you going to look that child in the face and say, get out of my house, or I'm going to take you out of my house? That seems to be the shoe that the proud feet put on their feet. I can't. It makes me lose sleep at night thinking about situations like this and children, knowing that there's children out there every day of every year suffering from such conduct as this. It's the God's honest truth. It may even be happening next door to you. You don't know. You don't know. Like me, I live in fixed income apartments. Okay? How do I know who's in my complex? How do I know who's living a couple of doors down or next door to me? I don't know them from a hill of beans. Unless I associate with them, which I don't do. I don't do much association. I'm mostly online, and if I'm not online, I'm either busy doing something, running errands, or watching the sports teams that I love on television. That's what I do. Or making videos and studying crime and, you know, watching sometimes long videos about the Sebastian Rogers case and any new updates. That's what I do with my time. I don't have much time to go and spend a lot of time with people. I'll be the first. I will admit that I have been diagnosed with avoidant personality disorder, and I'm not ashamed of that. And if you don't know what that is, you need to Google it. It's a cluster C personality disorder. There's 10 personality disorders, and it's a cluster C. And you know, that's one of the reasons why I don't go around people much. You know, the holidays, I used to love to go around and stuff. That drifted away, and so on and so forth. But nobody, it doesn't matter what they have. If they're suffering from a mental illness and it's to the point that they're having behavioral problems, then it's time to see a doctor. It's not time to tell your child or get the hell out of my house, or I'm just going to take you out of the house myself, and God knows what I'm going to do. Which seems like what Katie did, or Chris ordered her to do. One of the two. There's a reason why it took 3 hours on that phone call. You're just not. Married couples don't take 3 hours, you know, on phone calls. They just don't. What is there to talk about for 3 hours on the phone? And I know that there's going to be some that's going to say, well, I've talked 3 hours on the phone. The only time, really about the only time that I've spent 3 hours on the phone is when I need to replace my Social Security card and stuff like that there, and have to call in the Social Security Administration and wait 2 hours on hold, and then sometimes it may take 30 to 45 minutes for them to get all your information and stuff, you know, and your address. That's probably the only time that I would say I would be on the phone for 3 hours. Because a lot of the times you don't get the callback option. Sebastian never got the option to call his dad that morning. To say, Dad, can you come get me? He never got that option. He was never allowed to have that option that morning. which leads me to believe that Katie had and Chris had this well planned ahead of time. Well planned ahead of time before that 3 hour call. That's my honest opinion. That's my opinion. And to give you an update, guys, I will have some relief here. Hopefully, it's supposed to be here by 10 o'clock tonight. A tripod, so that way I don't have to hold the phone in my hand. I can just put it on my tripod and let it sit there and stuff. Can't wait for that. It's a step in building this channel. And another thing I noticed. Now, I don't know if this was in Chronicles of Olivia's video I think it was it was the same one that I'm talking about. Katie laughs in that video. And if you look at Chris, look at him real good. He'll turn his eyes and he'll look like he could go right through Katie. And then a minute or two later, he'll make this gesture right here. Like a smirk. And that was a red flag to me too. That raised a red flag. I said, these are two disgusting individuals. That's just who they are. And they've got this PI guy that don't know his ass from a hole in the ground. You can go watch some of the videos on YouTube and you can see the lies. It's lies and alibis. I'm not going to put in there blood, lies, and alibis. No, I'm not going to do that just yet. Because Sebastian hasn't been found. If he's found and if he's unalived, then that would be the case. But I'm still holding out good hope. I'm still holding out good hope. I will every day until the situation is resolved. And that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold my hope out that he's still alive. And I believe that he is. I'm with Dog the Bounty Hunter. I believe he's still alive. I think Seth does too. But there's a lot of people that have probably lost some hope that he's still alive. But they want to be wrong about that. And then you've got these content creators out here that just don't want him to be found at all, whether he's dead or alive. Now, that is very, very dark, sick, twisted individuals. Criminals that they are. They know who they are. They see my videos. They know who they are. They see Bullhorn Betty's videos. They know who they are. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out as to who these people are. All you have to do is just J for one. Illuminati, Cletus, Chris and Katie, the Bauer Sox, and more channels. Yeah, more channels. There's a lot more channels than that are proud supporters of the so-called proud feet. I'm not. I'm not. I let those channels go because I could tell they were lying. And when you sit there and you make fun of a father that sit there and he's crying, and the man probably don't even average 3 hours sleep per night, if even that. And you go posting his shit online, personal information, you have absolutely destroyed or did everything in the world that you could to destroy this case. And I really, really hope that Seth and Tony get themselves together and hold this person accountable for what they did. And hopefully YouTube will take this channel that I'm talking about and remove it. I understand. I am not for silencing people's opinions, but there's a boundary when you cross it. When you cross that boundary and put people's names and medical records and all this stuff up there, the cities they live in, just mark out the street, but the cities they live in, don't you think it don't? If you just go to Google and you give their name and you put in the town, Google's going 90% of the time pull up their address. And what's going to happen with that? There's no telling. There's no telling. Never, ever, ever should a father ever have to worry about being harassed in his home when his son is missing. And I'm saying that to these hate channels and to the proud feet. I don't call them proud foot because they're not good enough to be called proud foot. They're proud feet. They're dumbasses. They're stupid. Just like the channels they call in. If you notice, the only time Chris calls in, the only time he calls in is when his supporters has said something that he don't like, and then he just calls in and he goes belligerent. Like a narcissist would do. Why isn't Katie calling these people and being belligerent? Is she that controlled? Does Chris got that much control of Katie that she can't even speak up for herself? I believe so. And you know whose fault that is? It's Katie's fault. It's Katie's fault. 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 Katie's fault The job that she's got, if she was to leave Chris, yeah, she might would lose that mansion that she's living in, but she's making enough money that she could live well off, that's for sure. She works in a job where she could probably hack those cameras in that area and shut them off long enough for her to carry something out like that. And nobody would know it. Katie has nobody to blame for herself but herself for her living the lifestyle that she's living. Living with somebody that is controlling, manipulative, condescending, narcissistic, Machiavellistic, sadistic. Well, if you're willing to get rid of your child to be with them, then hey, you're as much fault as they are. You choose to live that way. You choose to get rid of your child for a piece of shit like that. I don't feel sorry for her. I think she holds the key. But I also think that he was telling her what to do in that phone call as well. Allegedly. That's my belief. That's just my belief. I really hope that he's found. I'm never giving up hope. Very first thing I do when I wake up every day. Yes, I wake up. I go back to sleep. Then when I wake up for the final time, I'm up for the day. And then I start. The very first thing I do is YouTube. Has any new updates on Sebastian? I check the national news, both Channel 2 and Channel 5. I don't read anything that Nick Barris posts. I don't trust him no further than I can. Then you can throw him because he's anything the Sumner County Sheriff's Department says he's gonna go right with it. And you know, I think they know more than what they're telling. Question is, they don't have to tell us nothing. Why not act on it? Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak more than anything. And that's just how I see it. They hold the key, guys. Going to close this video out tonight and talk about what happened in Los Angeles today. I've never seen any fire like that before. I know it's in a rich neighborhood and stuff, but it's unfathomable the damage that has been done, and people jumping out of their cars, running for their lives. It is, and then you've got fire with 100 mile per hour winds, and then this storm is just going to track across the country into through the deep south and drop snow and freezing rain and stuff. It's just not what we need. But my prayers are definitely with those people in Southern California right now. And as for the next day or two, it doesn't look like the conditions are going to get any better with the wind. So prayers to the firemen, prayers to the people that live in Los Angeles, prayers to the police officers and the rescue squad members and the hospitals and the doctors that are just flooded right now with patients. Prayers to the people that have breathing difficulties and have nowhere to go, but especially if they're homeless, and then the people that have breathing difficulties that are on their oxygen tanks are limited. And it's just a very, very sad situation unfolding right now in Los Angeles. And it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. In fact, the forecast is saying that it's going to spread further to the east and further north. I really, really hope that this does not get into downtown Los Angeles, though we have a real mess. And very last thing I want to say is we pray Sebastian's found. We pray for you, Sebastian. We love you, Sebastian. We love you, Seth. We're praying for you, man. We are keeping our heads up for you, and we won't let you down. We will find Sebastian. Sebastian's army is strong. All right, guys, y'all have a good night, and God bless America, and God bless the people that are affected by this monster storm on the West Coast that's going to be sweeping across the southern United States, causing ice storm, and I don't mind snow and stuff, but ice storms are totally different than snow. Prayers for all of us involved in that. And, yep, prayers for Sebastian. We're going to find you, buddy. We just hope you see our videos and you hold on strong. We will find you. And we will find you safe. That's what I believe. All right, people. Y'all have a good night. I may do a video tonight. I may not. Just depends on what I have to do and stuff. And, I got to put the tripod together. When and if it gets here, it still hasn't even charged my card yet. So I don't see how it's going to get here without charging my card. But we'll see. But until my next video, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. God bless you.